Intoxicated Television, we're back. Got a special guest today. You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Purple.
Yay. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yay. Okay, so how we started off, what's your earliest memory of music? Like, your earliest memory, like...
David Bowie playing in The Labyrinth.
Okay. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
When I was a little girl, I was probably like 5 years old. I absolutely fell in love with that movie.
Wow, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Cool. So that just stuck with you, and like
Yeah.
you wanted to keep watching it.
I watched it over and over. I bought the movie. Are you kidding? I bought it and lost it and had it stolen so many times. I probably bought that movie 10 times over.
Like so your parents bought it for you, or?
The first time I had the movie, my dad actually had an old VHS.
Okay.
And we put tape on the back of a movie we no longer wanted.
Okay.
And we were recording. So he actually recorded it illegally back then before all those do not pirate videos commercials came out. But hopefully, well, he's passed away, so he can't be in trouble for that.
No, I was just telling, we used to do the same things with the videos, but also the cassette tapes and shit too.
Yep, we did that too.
I was telling my homie, I was interviewing my homie the other day, and we were talking about it, and he didn't know what I was talking about. He didn't know that it was the thing.
Oh, wow. Well, that goes to show my age.
I know, that's what I said too, because he was like, yeah, well, we didn't have tapes very long, it turned into CDs and stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh,
like,
yeah, I remember that.
Like, I remember before tapes, we just had records and shit.
Yeah. Oh, vinyl.
So, oh, okay, great. So that's a cool one, Bowie.
Yeah, I love David Bowie.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what kind of stuff was playing around the house and stuff?
Every summer, for the last day of school, my dad would throw on an old 8-track with Alice Cooper.
Okay. Oh, school's out.
Every year we would wait for him patiently, and as soon as he pull into the driveway, you'd have all the little kids in the house. Now I'm one of 5, but at the beginning it was just me, my sister, and our baby brother, who was not in school, but he still joined us, right?
All right.
So he'd pull up into the driveway, and we'd all three at the beginning just run into the dining room where the 8-track was set up.
Okay.
And one of us would be holding the 8-track in hand. It became a ritual.
All right.
So, and it's one that we all ended up having as a wonderful, fond memory of our father.
So like, what kind of, are there any songs from that period like that stuck out like on the radio, or were you listening to music around the house and stuff?
Music has always been a big part of my life motivations and, you know, my healing process. Even back as a kid, I would play certain songs over and over, and I noticed how the music moved, and you know, even back then I didn't understand, but it was speaking to my soul. You know, it's always been so deep and ingrained into my being.
Yeah, I love it.
So, but as far as music, we would listen to all kinds of music on the radio, and back to covering the tape cassette.
Yeah, okay.
Somewhere we've lost, I'm sure it's gone, but there was an old cassette of, you know, the old song, If This Is It.
What was that?
I think it was, who was it?
Ooh, he's dumping me.
That was a long time. Dude, we're talking back in the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, you're stumping me right now. That don't happen.
Me now.
That don't happen very often.
Oh shit, I can't even remember who it was, but the hook in it was If This Is It. They made fun of me because my recording was it. That's all that came through over the cassette.
Was it the Who, or am I tripping?
I don't think it was the Who. I want to say something more like Huey Lewis and the News, but it wasn't them. It was in that era.
Okay, I got you.
So, but I can't for the life of me remember. I'm bad as far as remembering names and
okay, fair enough.
So.
So speaking of your siblings and stuff, like, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in a little town called Bargersville, Indiana.
Okay.
It was a nice, quiet little place, little rural neighborhood. You know, quite far. Well, not too far out from all the big cities, but far enough to be peaceful.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. So how long, like how long before you moved to out west and stuff? Like,
I was almost 18 when I moved out to Reno the first time.
all right.
And there was some family things going on. My sister had already been living out here for a while, so my dad got a Greyhound bus ticket and put me on a bus right before I turned 18, and I made it out here the first time. So this is the third time I've lived in Reno, and I just keep coming back.
What was the differences? Do you remember from growing up in Indiana to all of a sudden you're out in Reno?
Oh,
Like,
wow. It was like a
it's like,
culture
yeah,
shock.
I was gonna.
Huge, huge culture shock. I went from
Okay.
farmland
Yeah,
to
right.
great big city, and you know, they call it Little Sin City and
Yeah.
everything, you know, all the bright lights and everything stayed open. And the one thing I couldn't get over is you could buy alcohol on a
Right.
Sunday.
I know. Oh yeah, right. That's a big
Yeah,
one.
that's a huge one. So,
It's tripping me out when I can like usually
well,
like you can buy 24 hours. So
yeah.
like a lot of times like where I grew up like in Midwest, Wisconsin and stuff, like in if you wake up in the morning you want to go get a beer, they were like make you wait until a
Mm-hmm.
certain time before
Yep.
you could purchase alcohol and I'm like,
Don't forget the holidays. They shut
oh
down on the
right,
holidays
right,
too.
yeah, no, right.
National
So
holidays, you
I'm
couldn't
like,
buy
what the
any
fuck?
alcohol out in Indiana
So
or
like
places that would like
here I
that.
can it can be 5 in the morning, they don't give
Yeah,
a shit. So like that was
yeah,
cool for I was like, what, seriously? I can get
yeah,
beer right now? Like
yeah.
they're not gonna you're not making me feel weird like I want a fucking beer right now and shit. Like um all right, moving on. So first concert.
Oh, my first concert, I went. I went with a church group.
All right.
And obviously, it was an extracurricular, but we went to see Meatloaf out in Indiana. I forget what town it was in,
All right.
but that was so awesome.
About how old were you?
I want to say, I was like 16, 17. It was right before I came out here.
Oh, all right.
It was awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah,
I
that was my
bet.
first concert.
Wow.
And I mean, I haven't done a whole lot of concerts
He might must
until recently,
he
but
must have had a massive production at that time and shit too, huh?
well, that's back when he was like really big too, because that was psh,
Was that like that was before that Anything for Love thing or whatever? I would do it.
no, that was
That was
played.
the tour?
That was played.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Oh
do remember.
shit.
I remember
That's what I
dancing
mean. So that
in
he must
in
the show
so
must have been massive because like that was like when he was like peaking out of control at
we
that point.
we were in the seats area. There wasn't like a great big dance floor area, so I remember getting up and bumping into the chairs. That's how I know for sure that song was played.
Okay.
I remember grooving to it.
All right.
So, and I'm not gonna lie, at first I didn't know who he was.
Okay.
So, but after the concert, I went and started looking up his music,
Oh
and
yeah.
just, I mean, I fell in love with him at the concert.
Crazy catalog that guy
Yeah.
had.
Oh yeah, his music was just the shit. It was awesome.
Wow, that's fucking
Hmm.
cool. So, for as your first experience, like, were you hooked after that, or like,
I already loved music. I knew it moved me. So yeah, first experience listening to Meatloaf, that was OV. I was wholeheartedly hooked. I still listen to him. I look up songs here and there. Yeah.
yeah? I mean, as far as like the atmosphere and like the concert itself, like,
It's lively. It's vibrant. It's happy and joyful, you know, and that's what I strive for in my auric field, my energy, my, you know, my everything. You know, I want positivity, you know, uplifting. And, you know, when I find good music, you know, I like to stick with it because that's what it does. You
right?
know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, you wanna speak on your spiritual? I don't even know what you call it, or your.
My emancipation from Bullshit.
Yeah.
um, well,
Like, how did that start?
honestly,
And if you could explain it for the viewers, because I'm really,
I was
I know that's your shit, but I don't know how to really know about it.
well, technically, I told you a little bit before that I was raised in a cult, and
Whoa.
yeah, I was raised. My mom was a Jehovah's Witness.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, all
Yeah,
right. Oh,
remember?
all right, now it's
But
coming back.
but
I
so
was like, yo, wait,
I
what?
did that for a long time. I did it for a long time, and out of the sheer desperation and confusion of why my mom had to hold her love back because I was not never baptized, and I quit going as an adult, so she technically was not allowed to talk to me for some time, and then they changed the rules, and then I was okay to talk to again. So at least I was back in the good graces and able to talk to my mom, but that was very hard for years
Yeah,
where
right.
I couldn't even speak to my mom. I'd call and she couldn't even answer because of the directive of the elders.
Right. Did they have you knocking on doors and stuff?
Oh God, I hated that. I hated that. Getting up so early every Saturday morning and Sunday morning, you go to church, and then you turn around and after church meetup immediately and start going banging on doors again.
Damn.
People slammed doors in our faces. People yelled at me when and I'm talking, I was like 7, 8 years old.
Yeah, right.
And I'm stammering and stuttering because I'm nervous. I've had doors slammed in my face. I've had grown men cuss me out
Yeah.
with my mom standing next to me and one of the elders' wives, and they just smiled like it was okay, and kept making me do it.
Damn.
It was very uncomfortable,
Right.
and it kind of made me shut down a lot of parts of my life. So, I then went on a long life of being submissive and getting into one abusive relationship after another until I ended up a few years ago. I found a counselor's office up in Washington where I was living with my ex-husband. And we were trying to get back together. He said he got off of the dope, and it was more than just the dope. So it still didn't work out, by the way. But no, I went up there and I got into a little place called Compass Health, and it was a Medicaid based, so a counseling facility. So I was able to get in there, and I was one of the few people that statistically was able to heal and get out of the shit that made up my trauma and my horror of a life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking some serious horrors because I have scar on my throat because I had some domestic violence from a previous relationship, um, where he collapsed 2 of my discs. But so that's the shit that I tried to move out of. I successfully moved out of through the help of this particular counseling facility. My counselor, I don't know if her name was Monique. She was amazing. She told me, just because you've been a lifer, you're not a lifer in counseling. I don't see you as needing that. I see you needing some help.
Uh-huh.
And she signed me up to this program, a class that Medicaid only covered for two years or 2 sessions. It's called dialectical behavioral therapy.
Okay.
Wow, it did wonders. I grew a backbone. I learned how to use the tools to succeed and step out of the abuse.
Damn,
And
you learned all that in 2 classes?
well, no, it was 2 courses, so
Oh.
each one was 1 year. So
Oh
I got
shit. Okay.
two whole years.
Oh, all right.
And technically I missed the last 2 classes of the second year due to COVID.
All right.
So that's how recent this was.
Oh wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But and
Well, congrats.
why, thank you.
Oh no.
Thank
Wow,
you.
that's awesome.
I'm so happy.
That's an
I
awesome
mean,
story.
it's a wonderful feeling to be able to walk away from an abuser and to grow my own spine and be able to stand on my own 2 feet and know what I know. So it's definitely been a wonderful journey.
So tell me about like the So that brought you into your, I don't even know what to call it, like your witchy
My
stuff.
wishy ways.
Your,
um, well, so back when I was a kid, I was in a group home in Franklin, Indiana, and one of the girls smuggled in a Ouija board.
okay.
And I got into some of this, and um, I would, mind you, my mom had us in a cult. I was told this was taboo, no, no, and all that. And
Okay.
we played with it. And there was some things that like really struck and hit, things that, you know, it, the girls couldn't have possibly even known.
Okay.
So
Oh,
I knew
okay.
they weren't moving things.
Right. All
I
right.
knew this didn't come from any of those girls.
Okay.
Because we were upstairs in the dorm where in the house where the girls lived, and the boys were downstairs in the children's home.
All right.
But and speed up a few years, my dad sends me out here,
Uh-huh.
and I ended up living in a home out in Sun Valley with the the head of a coven
Oh shit. Okay.
and the high priest and the high priestess.
Wow.
And I ran because they were a sexual cult.
Oh Christ.
So
Oh great.
when he tried to come on to me, I was only like 18. No, I was 19 because I had just put my daughter up for adoption while I was living there because um, it was just really hard dragging my daughter around homeless through the streets of Reno, not having any
Wow.
help. So I did the best thing for her,
Mm-hmm.
and I put her up for adoption with a couple that I thought was going to be a loving, decent fit. And I interviewed countless couples, countless. I want to say we went through at least 12 different families
Mm-hmm.
before I settled on the couple that I went with. And at that point, I was living with them. Once I put her up for adoption, my daughter was no longer in his way, so he put the moves on. I bailed, I cut out. So I closed the door to the witchiness. And I tapped in, and I got so into it, and it helped me feel a little bit whole. So when I walked away from it because of that not so good experience, I ended up trying to dive back into churches,
Okay.
and I went back to the old terrified, uncomfortable, beat down, and
Scared straight.
I've been kicked out of churches for asking too many questions.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not kidding.
No,
One of them was here in town.
I believe you.
So,
You're good.
but so I went from that experience to trying to find myself again through religion, and obviously that didn't go very well because here I am.
Shit. Cheers. One, 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 one.